Hey guys, thanks for waiting. It's been kind of a chaotic day. I'm glad everyone has made it. I did get to see a few of the chats here. Um, I've been busy all day, um, getting things put together and put up and so forth for the hurricane that's coming. Can everyone hear me and see me okay? I guess I should have asked that first. And you'll have to kind of bear with me a little bit because I'm very sensitive to the pressure. So as the pressure changes, I can feel it pretty bad. Um, so Hurricane Ian, for those of you that um, haven't experienced a hurricane, I know Go West is in here, and they have. They were actually there for the same first hurricane I experienced, which was Hurricane Charlie. And I had lived in Florida for 2 months when Hurricane Charlie had come through. Um, and I didn't know what to expect because I originally lived in Colorado. So I was very familiar with tornadoes and flash floods, but not with hurricanes. And uh, hurricanes are an amazing, powerful force that you just really can't imagine um, the power of it until you're actually in it. Uh, and then after the hurricane, my husband and I at the time went out to go help. We tried to, there was trees everywhere. People were stuck in their homes, and we grabbed the chainsaw and went to go help people. Unfortunately, after a hurricane, we did not know that there was such thing as looters. And so a lot of people didn't want our help. And we had quite often had guns pulled on us because they thought we were coming to loot and not coming to help. Um, so unfortunately, there was a lot of people that we had to pass by because um, they were afraid. They were afraid we were going to steal their belongings because there wasn't a whole lot of people out there to help that weren't working for the electric company or so forth. Um, Hurricane Ian, we've been watching for the last couple days now very closely, and we definitely thought that Hurricane Ian was um, not going on the path they originally thought. They originally thought it was going to go farther north and then go into Georgia. Um, but it was too similar to Charlie as we watched how it built and the waters and so forth. And sure enough, it turned and went almost up Charlotte Harbor, just like Hurricane Charlie, which kept it stronger than they anticipated. Um, Charlie did the exact same thing as Ian. That Port Charlotte is a huge waterway, and as long as part of that stays over water, it's going to stay stronger. It's not going to break up as easily. And um, they expected Ian to be nothing pretty much when it went on the other side and then hit us as maybe a tropical storm. Um, I personally think that Ian is going to strengthen to just under a category two, if not a category two. Right now, they're saying it's going to go between Charleston and Myrtle Beach. And I think I have someone in here that is in Myrtle Beach as well. So, y'all need to please stay safe. I see you're hunkering down as well. We don't leave. We always stay put because we have elderly that live in our neighborhood that we make sure that they're okay because they can't leave. Um, Something I want to tell you all too is the news has a habit. If you have family in South Carolina, the news is going to show you the absolute worst areas and is going to make it out more than it is at the time. And I'm not saying it's not going to get bad for some areas. I'm saying that the news is going to literally stand in ponds and tell you it's that deep there. They are also going to show lots and lots of images of downtown Myrtle Beach and downtown Charleston. And I can tell you in a normal rainfall, those areas are underwater. So just be leery of what you watch. If you have family, ask them directly, or if you know people in the state, ask them directly. because the news is going to put the fear into a lot of people. Um, where we are in between the um, the flooding area and where tornadoes can spawn. We are um, pretty close to a few rivers, and we've went through rains that have flooded the back of our area, but not our road specifically. So we should be okay. And a lot of our neighbors around us are police, military, um, EMT, so forth. So we kind of check in with each other. We all have a good bit of our phone numbers. So if anything were to happen, we're able to reach out to each other. I can tell you the stores here were out of water as of Sunday. And I honestly have been through so many storms that I forgot this storm was coming. And I went to go get two 1 liter bottles of water because 3 days ago my hot water heater um, blew out. So uh, my hair is wet because I got my first shower in 3 days. The man was gracious enough to come and fix it before this storm came because if he wouldn't have, we would not have had water for at least a week. Um, so we went to go get water anyways at the grocery store to brush our teeth and clean up until the water heater was fixed because we did not know at the time it was going to be fixed today. And the water, all of it was completely gone. And of course, the bread was gone, which always boggles my mind why people go buy all the milk, all the bread, and all the water. The water I can understand, but the other two, if your power goes out, your milk's going to go bad, and you're never going to eat 4 loaves of bread in a week unless you have a family of six. But that's always what people go for. The rest of the store did not look too bad. Um, that is just here in the low country area. I don't know how it is around Myrtle Beach. Hopefully, whoever's in Myrtle Beach can share. I know that I'm hearing things that a lot of the coastal stores are wiped out. I know today our governor has declared a state of emergency for the entire state. I know that most of the flights for tomorrow, if not all of them, have been canceled at this point. The weather here right now is eerily quiet. And earlier we were having, I had a gust, I think, right around 40 miles, 45 miles an hour as I was picking up the yard. Um, but it's gotten really quiet and I hear like a thump every once in a while. So there's got to be still gusts going on. But I think we're at that distance away now where um, the wind is getting sucked into the hurricane instead of being blown out at this point. So tomorrow is probably when we're going to get our tropical force winds, which isn't terrible. We've had regular storms that have had winds that were equivalent. Um, but at this point, we have tied things down. We have brought things in the house. We have secured our gates. Um, I've tried to move what plants I could because most of you know I have my planters and pools. I'm probably going to lose a good bit of my garden that I have left, which is unfortunate, but I will start again when after it's over, I'll start them in the house so that I can get them out next year. Um, I have not heard anything on Colombia yet. All the news I'm trying to find is all on Florida right now, and Florida is really bad. And I'm not saying that based on news, I'm saying based on friends I still have there. I actually have a couple there that are good friends of mine. They're in their 70s, and the husband is disabled and blind and homebound, and she almost could not evacuate. She was in Punta Gorda, and she got someone to help her to get to a hotel. And she has recently, today, found out that the retirement um, community that she lived in is nothing but a pile of rubble. So she's devastated because she's lost everything other than what she could pack in the car, which wasn't much because she needed all of the medical items for her husband. So I'm waiting to hear from her what she needs, if there's any way I can help, and maybe reach out to some of you at that point if if she does go that route, but that's entirely up to her. Um, there's a lot of Florida that's destroyed, guys, and of course the news, like I said, is showing bits that are not. They're making up some of the stuff, but there truly is people, a lot of people that have lost their homes and their lives. My friend was taken to a hotel to hunker down there because she lives in a modular, um, and the water got up to the second floor on her hotel. So hopefully, nobody was on the first floor. I don't know yet. She's being bombarded with messages, so I'm trying my best to um, space them out and not overwhelm her because she's already overwhelmed with losing her home. Um, I have a friend that is in Orlando, and where she is in Orlando, she got some light rain, but it wasn't too terribly bad. Um, I have heard that they are starting to get some good, or they had some flooding on uh, the northeast side, but I'm waiting to actually hear from people there to get confirmation instead of just listening to the news. Um, but we have everything here. I mean, guys, this is why we prep. Prepping is not just an apocalyptic event, it's not just war or um, whatever. I mean, this is what we prep for too, natural disasters. And South Carolina is long overdue for um, a major hurricane. A lot of us suspected we were going to get one last year, and we didn't. We were expecting a pretty rough winter this year, and that did not happen either. So I think we're going to start seeing the back hurricanes here. I think this one is going to go straight into Charleston. I think it is going to be, uh, if not a category two, close to it. But that is just my opinion. I have not heard anything on it other than it's going to be a one. But I just don't believe that. Uh, they're already staging areas in South Carolina for electric companies and emergency setups and shelters in case anyone loses their homes. I know that the animal shelters on the coastlines have gotten all of their animals out that they could to. Sorry, guys, my laptop here's got to plug it in. Um, the animal shelters on the coastlines have gotten most of the animals to foster homes or other shelters. So the animals are doing okay. And I think I'm delayed now. Um, I do know they have some shelters open. Um, as far as weather here today, it's just been a little bit of light gusts earlier. It's eerie quiet right now. And the forecast, I believe, says it's going to hit sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'm waiting for an 8 o'clock update. I'm hoping that they do update it at 8 o'clock and I don't have to wait till 9. They were doing it every hour. And then once it went through Florida, they stopped updating every hour. Um, our local news is all talking about Florida, so we're not getting much on our local news. But we're as prepared as we are. We've been preparing for things like this for a long time, and if the power goes out, we'll be okay. If we can't run our water, it would be unfortunate since I just got my water heater back. But we will be okay. I know how to cook on an open fire pit, so we'll be able to eat. Um, cars are gassed up. Hopefully, other people here did it as well. Cash on hand. I mean, we're pretty set as far as whatever is coming and whatever will happen. We This is not our first rodeo. We've done this before. I've been getting text messages all day, which I absolutely appreciate everyone who has reached out to me to check to make sure if we need anything, if we're doing okay, if we're staying put. Um, I will do my best to continue to update as things unfold. I don't know how long we will have power, but I'm thinking we very well could lose power. Um, but I will post from my phone as much as I can. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to say some hellos. And if anyone has any questions, go ahead and post them now. I'm also going to check here in just a few minutes to see if there's an 8 o'clock update, unless someone else has heard of an 8 o'clock update. Um, I have not gotten one yet. Okay, so Mike Costello's in Myrtle Beach. Um, I'm gonna assume they probably boarded up already. They also get some pretty good flooding, and that this storm could keep jogging over there. But as of now, they're saying it's going to be between Myrtle Beach and Charleston. But hurricanes like to wobble, so just keep your eye on it. We won't really know until tomorrow morning what exactly it's doing. I know the last time I looked, it's still going north northeast, 9 miles an hour, and I know that it did tighten up a little bit on pressure, so it was going 75 miles an hour, which it can do some light damage, but um, I feel like it's going to get stronger before it hits us. Fed Up American, hello. Thank you for coming. Vision Preparedness, thank you for being here. Um, Darth, hello, good evening. Ladybug, hi. Angry Homesteader, too. I saw you on Roaming Preppers, but I was listening, so I couldn't really text because I was trying to get ready. See, give me just a minute. I'm so tired, you guys, from working with the water heater guy and cleaning up the yard and trying to get stuff put together and tied up. Last American Outlaw, I am going to text you back, if not tonight, tomorrow. But we are doing okay. We're set. We've done what we need to do at this point. Naples got 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. Naples is really bad too. I did see some drone footage of there, and last I saw, they were underwater. Yes, there were definitely cars submerged. There were businesses that were halfway submerged. It was pretty bad. Florida's coasts got hit pretty bad, and a lot of the areas that I was seeing in people's footages, I've actually been, and some of them were about 10 minutes down from where I used to live. So if I would have stayed in Florida, I would no longer have a home. Based on what I saw, it would have been underwater. I lived in Cape Coral, and I don't know if y'all saw footage of Pine Island. One of the storm chasers was showing some Pine Island footage, and I lived about 10 minutes from there, and it was pretty bad there. Um, Maria's in South Carolina. Okay, you must be. Hmm. Where are you at, Maria, in South Carolina? If you're getting the loud winds already, you might. Are you farther inland? Because you might be getting the gusts that we got earlier. And then ours kind of quieted down after the gusts, and we have that eerie quiet now because the winds shifted and it's going towards the hurricane from Be Ready. And I was confused. Why in the world the wind changed directions? And he reminded me it gets sucked in before it gets pushed back out um, closer to. Um, Flooding as always, yes. There's always flooding in South Carolina. Harping Survival, hello, welcome. Rogue Preparedness. I should have told you I had jumped out. I'm sorry. I lost track of time and I had to leave really fast. Bread makes easy meals, especially during lights out situation. The milk is weird. Yeah, they always wipe out the milk. I never understand it. It's always gone. Milk, bread, water. And I'm surprised they didn't take the toilet paper too, to be honest. Wilmington, North Carolina, storm surge will be 14 foot. That was the other thing. The last I heard is when it hits South Carolina, it's supposed to come in during high tide. I don't know if that's changed, but it is going to make the storm surge much worse. Buff Hammer Show, hello, welcome. Okay. Kiss Me was good during Charlie. Yeah, I think it just wiped out the Southwest coast. Okay, filled my car with gas. Yes. Okay. So I just filled my car with gas. People are panicking. Grocery stores are busy. Parking lots full. Even at the dollar stores. Hopefully, flooding won't be bad here like during Florence. And that's what they do. So I guarantee, if Mike went to the grocery store, they were out of the milk, the bread, and the water. But people do go into panic mode, and you'll start seeing lines at gas stations, and they'll start getting aggressive because they're not getting up there fast enough because they think the storm will be here in like 10 minutes. And you have time, you know it's coming. Um, but people panic, they get angry. Um, they'll fight in the stores, kind of like what they did in COVID, but in a lower scale. It's very, it's not necessary. You know it's coming. Sanibel Island, yes, yeah. You know they'll rebuild it. I miss Sanibel. Sanibel is a beautiful island, or it was a beautiful island, but they are underwater right now, quite severely. I think actually a couple of the bridges actually collapsed as well, going into Sanibel, which is absolutely terrible. Be ready. Hi, hun. Um, two piers and rip off roofs. Yes. And people, I think, underestimate the power of the storms and which direction they come and which side of the storm you're on. So, if you're on the left side of the storm, you get more rain. You will get dumped on. That's where a lot of your flooding will be. If you are on the right side of the storm, you are going to get a good bit of surge and wind. And if you get hit head on, you are going to get all of it, unfortunately. It just kind of depends where you are in the state that it's going into and how bad it'll be. Okay, so Maria, you're talking about earthquakes. So you must be up near Colombia, because they have had a ton of earthquakes. And South Carolina is also on one of the major fault lines. A lot of people don't know, from the 1800s, there was a very severe earthquake that wiped pretty much everything out. And we're overdue by quite a bit for that as well. I want to say it was like 50 years overdue or something. It's pretty, we're way overdue. Um, I'm sorry. I know this is boring watching me try to follow up on these chats. Go West. I appreciate the prayers. Um, update. People in Orlando have power now. Okay, cool. That's good. That's a good thing. Um, Florida's really, really good about getting the electric companies out really, really fast. I do give them kudos for that. I believe, I want to say, is it Dominion Electric? I can't remember now. It's been quite a long time since I've lived there. But they get out there immediately. They go straight from the staging areas, um, and get out there and start hooking people's power out and warn them, get out of the water. And that, y'all, that is something that you all need to know if you have never been in a hurricane. If you're in a hurricane and the power lines are down, please do not go out there and stand in standing water from the flooding or the rain. So many people get electrocuted. You don't know when that power company is going to flip on that power again, and they don't know a line is down. So please do not stand. I've seen so many people do this in standing water when there are power lines down around you. A lot of people die from down trees and from power lines down. Just stay in your home. If your home is safe to stay in your home unless you have a job that you're an emergency personnel and you can't get out. Another thing I learned too in Florida is a lot of people driving on the streets, you still can't see because the power's out, and the street lights, the traffic lights will be hanging down right at head level to your car, and you will not see it until you have ran into it. We did end up helping one person that um, they were inches from smashing their head in because they were going down the street and didn't see the light hanging. We ended up getting them to a shelter so they weren't stuck out there in the middle of the road. That was in Florida, not here. We haven't had anything here yet. Um, Nina Beach, Fort Myers Beach. Yes, those are very nice places. Fort Myers Beach is very busy during spring break. It's a lot of fun too. Okay, so Maria, you are in Columbia, so you have the winds that I must have had earlier. Yep, schools are already closed tomorrow. Most of the businesses are closed tomorrow. Heavy rains, you'll probably get the rains. Yeah, probably between midnight and 2 o'clock. I figured you were probably inland. You're getting the winds I had earlier today, and it should ease out here soon, and then it'll pick up again in the morning. Everyone still has their COVID TP. Well, they probably, if they couldn't get any food at the stores, they may have to eat that COVID TV or TP. They bought enough of it. They sure didn't fill up their carts with food. They can put it on all the bread they bought and wash it down with milk. Okay. Trying to see, I think. Um, yep. Okay. So news report said it's already a Cat 1 again and strengthening. And is that the 8 o'clock report? Go West. You said you didn't have power for 1.5 days. You are lucky. We went without power for I want to say a week and a half. And we actually ended up having to move into a FEMA trailer for about a year um, because it destroyed where we were at, to the point where there was major cracks in the walls and that the structure was just so damaged we had to get out. Hey, Triple Threat, thanks for coming. Oh, Tammy's here too. Hey, Tammy. Um, but we had a swimming pool when Charlie came through, and that was actually how we had to bathe, because we didn't have anything else. We had no power. Our water was on wells, so we couldn't get the water out. It was no joke. And we were in a townhome, so you literally are taking a bath in water that a whole bunch of other strangers are taking baths in, and um, you're hoping they're not doing anything else in that water. Okay. Oh, dropping things. So let me see if um, Noah has an update. Okay, so it's still at 75 miles per hour. It is still going northeast at 10 miles an hour. And 986. Sorry, guys, I take screenshots so I can follow the pressure. Okay, so the pressure is dropping again. So it's definitely strengthening over the warm waters that are off the coast of Florida, and I think it's going to just keep going because the waters off of Georgia's coast and the waters off of South Carolina's coast is um, equally warm. Not as warm as the Gulf, of course, but it's warm enough to where it's going to um, strengthen quite a bit. They may have. Let me find out. I'm gonna find out. They usually turn the interstates around so that people can evacuate that want to evacuate. And if they were going to do that, they should have done that today. But I'm actually not up with that because um, I don't leave. So I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I'm so terrible. I should have had this. I lost track of time, but um, which is actually kind of a mess too when they reverse the interstates. Um, because they'll block off a lot of the exits and people don't get gas before they get on the interstate, so they'll run out of gas. Or people that are emergency personnel or what's considered necessary personnel and don't get to stay home. Essential personnel. That's what it is. People who are essential personnel that have to go to work, they can't get off on their exits sometimes to go to work um, because they have exits shut down, usually from the coast all the way to um, mid-state, and it's a mess when that happens. I can't find it. I'll post it on the community page. As I get updates, I'll post them. All right. Any more questions that I can answer? I'm going to try to post updates on the community page as far as how we're doing. If wind gets kind of crazy, I will try to take some videos or um, maybe if it'll let me go live. I don't know how good the connection will be. Just to post some videos of the weather. It was strange watching the clouds go the opposite direction that they normally go because they're being sucked out to the ocean. That was kind of weird today. Last night, we actually had a really pretty sky too. It was um, just like a bright pink color, like it was on fire. Um, because we get I mean, before a storm, your night before, your skies are just gorgeous because of everything in the atmosphere kicking up. And last night's sky was just absolutely beautiful. I may see if I can steal one of my friend's pictures and post it on my page to share with you all. Okay, so when the pressure drops, it's getting stronger. Um, yes, it's more pressure within the middle. Um, which the storm hunters are out there now. And I know that from what I understand, uh, they had us when they were out there yesterday measuring the storm. It The plane had dropped 700 feet in a second from a wind shear, which was the first time that had ever happened. Um, it if I would have been on that plane, I would have needed some new pants to be honestly, because um, that would have scared the hell out of me to be honest. I would have I would have pooped myself. But they said that was definitely the first time that they had ever had that happen in history. So this storm packed a punch. Okay, no, I didn't see McMaster's press conference. I know that he declared state of emergency for the entire state today. I know he was shutting things down, but I don't know if he reversed the interstate. So if you guys want some pretty good updates on what we're going on, and I hate Twitter, but honestly, this is where I get a lot of um, my local government updates. Governor McMaster's is our governor, Henry McMaster's, and he has a Twitter account. And one thing I give him kudos for is he updates people often during hurricanes. He will constantly post on what is going on, and he does quite a few press conferences when it comes to hurricanes. That's one thing I've given him kudos for always, is he is right on top of those things. Mhm. Jim Cantori. I heard he was in Florida. I don't think he's up here yet. If he does come up here, I'm still staying, and I'm going to send him to Tammy's house because I'm sure she would love to meet him. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. You did see Jim. Nice. Yeah, Mike, I don't honestly have a problem with McMaster's either. I know a lot of people here do. But I like that he's for our Constitution. So I haven't really had any issues with him. We got hit with a tree. How did you get hit with a tree? Did it? I'm picturing a tree. I'm sorry. It's probably not funny and it's probably a serious story, but I'm picturing a tree running down the sidewalk chasing somebody. I know that's terrible, but I'm so tired. And when I'm tired, I get silly. Small tree branch flew into Jim. Did he fall over? I don't want him to get hurt, but I'm wondering if he didn't pump that up as a massive thing that happened. Okay. Thank you, Vision. I appreciate that. I don't think we're gonna have too many changes tonight. We'll probably have something more in the morning than than tonight. The 8 o'clock update just went, and there wasn't much change. It was a small branch. I'm sure Jim Cantori just fell right over and said a tree hit him. Oh, so then he probably okay. Okay, so then I'm picturing now the tree chasing Jim Cantori and throwing a branch at him and Jim Cantori falling over and saying, "Oh, this is terrible. The trees are attacking people now." Like yeah, that's the silly stuff I think of, but I could totally picture that. I've seen him do some pretty bizarre stuff before um in Florida. So, yep, Steve's sitting in the garage. I will probably be sitting on the patio waiting for the storm as well. The last storm that came through, I sat on the patio and it was just beautiful. Oh, and the weather is cooler here now, which is great. I got to open up my windows all day. I had my window open last night, turned off the AC. It was so nice to get some fresh, cool air in the house. Um, yeah, it was. We've needed cool weather for a while now, and it was beautiful today as far as temperature wise. At least I thought it was. It was nice. Um, Probably fire pit weather, to be honest. We could have easily sat by the fire pit if there wasn't the wind, um, unless we wanted to create some sort of uh, flame torch with the fire pit, which we probably could have done as well. But I don't think our new neighbors would have liked that. They already probably think we're a little odd. Um, Wish I could open the window that much. Ragweed blowing around. Yeah, that is true. That the pollen is kind of bad. Yes. Now that is so, so, so true. It was so hot this summer and so humid. It was bad. I felt like I was in Florida again. It was so hot and humid. Sorry, y'all. I'm still getting text messages on checking to see how we're doing. I have to call a few people. All right, so I don't really have anything else as far as update wise. I don't know what else to share other than we're hunkering down. We've tied stuff down. We've filled up the bathtubs. We've got our jugs of water. We've um, brought in as many potted plants as we can. Um, if you have a car that you can't fit in the garage, you want to try to pull them up as close to the house as you can and as close to each other to minimize the damage. Um, I don't know, guys. That's about it. There's not too much you can do for a hurricane other than make sure you're stocked up and with food. Now, if the power goes out, uh, if y'all don't know this, and the power goes out, don't open your fridge or freezer any more than you have to because your stuff, especially in your freezer, can stay frozen for at least a couple days if you don't open that door. So if you are somewhere where the power goes out, Uh, just leave them closed unless you absolutely have to go in there. Make sure all of your electronics are charged as far as phones, tablets, laptops, um, like Marco said, flashlights, battery packs, the little charger stations, charge those up if you have them. So if your power goes out, you can recharge those. Also, if you don't have those, remember you can always charge your phone in your car. Um, in case you need to get out, get a message out to somebody. And a lot of times phone calls won't go through. So if you're trying to call somebody to let somebody know you're okay or to check on somebody, they may not be getting the call or you may not be able to get a call out. Text them because text messages sometimes will go through when phone calls don't. So this includes people in Florida. If you're trying to call people in Florida that you know and you cannot get a hold of them and you're worried about them, try to shoot them a text message and just throughout the day send them a text message until you hear something because chances are good that one of those text messages will get through before they're able to get phone calls, even if they pass like a Wi-Fi somewhere that has Wi-Fi connected. Wherever they are, but they don't have phone signal, that message will get through quick enough as they're passing the Wi-Fi. So make sure you send text messages to people if you can't get your phone calls through. Yep, get make sure your flashlights are by the bed, candles if you have them, first aid if you need it, where you that you know where it is. Make sure you fill up your bathtubs, fill up your sinks if you have to. Um, Make sure if you don't have any cases of water that you fill up, even if you have old water bottles or Kool-Aid jugs, um, old soda bottles, just fill them up with water. If you have an old milk jug that you need to that you need have going out in the garbage, rinse it out, fill it up with water. And honestly, if you have room in your freezer, you should throw it in the freezer if you can, because you don't know how long you're going to be out of power. If your power goes out, and it can melt slowly, so you get that water. Um, your bathtub water you can flush your toilets with if you have to. Um, some people they're unwell, and if the power goes out, they can't get the water into their homes. So I still recommend, even if you're unwell, filling up your bathtubs because you're going to want something to brush your teeth, wash your face, and flush. All right, guys. So I don't know what just happened. Can you hear me? So my laptop just crapped out on me. I guess I was not supposed to talk about brushing your teeth and flushing the toilet. So I will not do that again. I don't know what just happened to my laptop, but it doesn't even want to restart. It keeps giving me an error and cycling. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to live stream again. Anyways, it's not my priority right now. But if you guys need to get a hold of me, please email me. I will answer them. I can answer them from my phone. It is my mother's spark at gmail.com. And I will use my phone to try to upload updates as long as my phone does not crap out as well. But this is new for me. I've not experienced this before. I really don't know what happened. But Vision is going to be having a live here in about 7 minutes. I'm going to be over there from my phone, trying to mod from my phone. So play nice because it's hard to mod from my phone. And I will, I want to thank all of you guys for being here. And I'm sorry for jumping out on y'all. I don't know what happened. And thank you to my mods. I appreciate all of you. And pray for Florida. Pray for us if you'd like to. But we're going to be okay. We'll get through this. Other than that, my name is Christy. I have to go fix my laptop. And I am my mother's spark. Good night, y'all.